Welcome back to this week's episode. Last week we were talking about small businesses, and Emily is still in the studios. Emily, welcome back.
Thank you.
So Emily, what are the legal aspects to consider when you're starting a small business?
When you want to start the small businesses, first you look at the industry in which you are venturing in, and each industry has a specific government policy on it. But of course there are those legal requirements that one would need to start these businesses. Like for example, you'll have to get a license to give you a go-ahead to start the business. This license is specifically indicating you're also getting into legal business, so that you don't have challenges with the government. Depending on the business idea you've selected, you'll also focus on the type of industry you're venturing in. And we are also starting healthy businesses that will focus on greening the environment. So for example, in our country, we also have laws that will govern all business people to make sure that they are not doing some environmental degradation. Like for example, they'll get into the health sector and get licenses that will protect. We'll also have people who will get into businesses like that will support music. So you'll have to get copyrights, and it is important to get licenses so that you're not having the government following you up because you have not complied. So of importance is, let's start businesses and let's follow the legal processes so that we are having the permits, the licenses. Like let's also get licenses that will go around fire or the other businesses that will need insurance, so that we've covered ourselves from going against the requirements of the government.
Wow. I got a question from one of our viewers, and they asked, would considering getting a partner help in making the business to succeed?
Depending on how all the entrepreneurs come to agree, I would say if you're starting a business, it's good to start alone. But in the sense where you want to get into partnership, we have partnership deeds. These are agreements that you sit together and also have an attorney that's also get into the legal factor, whereby you have a lawyer.
Emily, you're talking about small business?
These small businesses, regardless of how small they are, you can clearly just walk into a lawyer and have a partnership deed, a partnership agreement. Have it so that you're able to know how you're going to run the business, the two of you. This is very important because it helps you do away, or rather, in cases of conflicts, how you are able to sort such conflicts in the business.
Wow, that is very insightful. Now, considering family as business partner. Let me tell you, working with family members. Now talk to us about that, because we all know.
Working with family can be a great challenge because there is that expectation that probably you would have to support, or rather you'd have to always be there for them. So I always say that if I'm to employ a family member, I want to go through the process just the way I'll employ a stranger. So for you to cushion yourself in such situations, have terms and conditions. You can draft a simple contract to enable you work together. Let that family member know what is expected of him or her, so that you're not having conflict. Of importance, remember, it's a business. Let's treat business and family as two separate entities, because we are growing a business that will give us income to pay this family member. So let's separate the relationships and the businesses. We can do that by drafting simple contracts that will give us terms and conditions on how we relate as employer to employee relationships.
But wait, Emily, do family care whether you've drafted any contract or not?
Remember, this is a business. I usually say, draw your lines, and these are sober decisions, boundaries you need to have in place. Because if you don't draw these boundaries, your business will crumble. Remember, this is not a charitable organization. A business is, you are venturing into business activities with an aim of making a profit. Yeah. So if we cannot define how we relate there, it will be my relative, my business, we can clearly not identify who is who.
Wow.
And yet you are the boss, you are the owner of the business.
Yeah. Let me ask, what are some of the security measures that one can take while doing the small business?
Security measures, depending on the level where you are. Like, for example, those small businesses are prone to uncertainties like fire, things like theft. Today we have good packages in insurance. Of course, somebody will say, my business is small, how can I get into an insurance? But you'll only realize that your business was not small when you have a calamity. Like, if fire comes to your business and everything that you have been working hard to get comes to ashes, you realize that for you having an insurance cover, you are able to be compensated. And other things we have also said, that just make sure you're doing legal business. Like, for example, have a permit. In cases like in our country where you're operating a business that does not have a permit, we have these county council employees, employees who can come and pick some of your things because you've not complied. So would you want that headache of running around with the government policies, or you want just to have a business that is healthy, nobody is interfering, and you are serving your customers and you're getting your resources back?
Wow. What are some of our financial alternatives that you can take with this small business?
I can refer to them as different financial models. Like I've mentioned in our previous discussion that entrepreneurship can be a lonely journey. And sometimes you might even want the financial support. Your business has reached a place where you want to grow and you need to inject some funds. So for small businesses, like what I do on daily basis is to encourage these small people to pull together their resources. Here in our country, we call them chamas. You can get into a chama, mobilize your small resources, identify a financial institution that relates with you, that is able, after you have accumulated your savings, they are able to give you a given amount of capital in the ratio of your savings. These will help you grow. Other alternatives are like you can get into banks. We have banks that have tailor-made products for micro, small entrepreneurs and small enterprises. So where they have their requirements, probably they would need you to channel your sales, your income in that specific account for you to be able to show a consistency and an ability. And then after, of course, there are requirements. So it's good. I would always encourage entrepreneurs to comfortably walk into banks and find out what is needed to get that support. Banks, or rather any financial institution, wants to work with them because they know them, so they can start building their capacity to borrow.
Wow. One of the things that I think that is key is that. And, people these days don't want to open, bank accounts, whatever, all those kind of things. Please make sure you have a bank account. Please make sure you have a bank account. Now, talk to me about taxes. Taxes, accounting, book recording. Is it book recording or bookkeeping?
Bookkeeping.
Yes, those kind of things.
As we have said, there's a way already the government is bringing in their taxes in these small businesses in terms of the value-added tax, how the products have been priced. So in one way or another, the small entrepreneurs are paying taxes. Let's comply with what the government requires of us. Like, for example, let's be faithful in paying the licenses and the permits. That's a way we are giving our taxes to the government. Also, there are products that we are buying and selling that have already been taxed in terms of the value-added tax. So that there's no question about that. Let's comply to do legal businesses. When it comes to bookkeeping, we have mentioned about record keeping, where it's the day-to-day capturing of our transactions, how we are buying and how we are selling. After we have recorded this information, remember you will need this information at a future date. So that informs how we keep our proper books of accounting. I would want to start off by saying that it all begins from a place of the known to the unknown. For one who is starting, I will encourage them to start on the original books of accounting, like the cash book, the sales book, the purchases book, that will capture your day-to-day sales, your purchases, and also just to show how your cash is flowing in and out. Remember also, are you going to be giving your products on credit? Also capture all this information so that you're able to track. Then after you have recorded your transactions, how are you keeping them?
Wow.
You can document them. Now probably you can have like a cabinet where you'll store. Remember, we are talking about the small businesses. Of course, if it was the big businesses, we would now think of what are some of the record keeping methodologies we can engage in, like can we automate?
Yeah.
However, we are on different levels. Yeah. There's somebody who will say, I don't want to be doing the manual record keeping. I want to get into the computer-based record keeping. So get to understand at any point where your business is, the profits you're making, to inform you on what you're going to do when it comes to even improving on record keeping. And this documentation will help you to make future decisions, or rather retrieve on information in future in case you want to understand a transaction that you did. So it's always good to keep your documents well.
Wow.
Yes.
Is marketing important?
Very important. Marketing is very important because you as an entrepreneur, you've already started the business, and all that you do to make sure your customers are accessing your products, either it's a service or it's a product, it all depends on marketing.
Even on small businesses?
Yes. You will not you will not start your business and then say, I'm not going to look for customers. So you'll be going out there through promotion. That is one way we look at marketing. Okay. And this promotion, you will be sensitizing your other existing or other potential prospective customers of what your product is, and asking them to come and buy. Okay. So you'll have to do promotion. Okay. We talk about place. Where place, we look at where are you located. That is still under marketing. Your customers need to clearly understand your location in terms of place, and also the distribution channels. Are you going to sell direct to the customers, or are you going to use, we call them middle people? Are you going to sell in big quantities, or you are going to break the bulk? Okay. So those distribution channels are also what we are discussing under place as a source of marketing, because you want to break your products into small quantities to attract your customers. We can discuss so much under marketing, like the product itself. Make sure you're having quality products that are easily attracting your customer. So marketing is a big topic we can discuss. Like, let me just mention, maybe in future we talk about 7 P's in marketing. We have the product, we have the price, we have the process, we have promotion, physical evidence, and people. All this is under marketing.
Wow.
How are you going to relate to your customers? How are you relating with your staff to make sure that you're selling? So as you sell, you're just making sure that your product ends to the consumer. So that we can say so much under marketing. Yes.
Wow. And don't forget social media. Social media is very important.
Under promotion, different ways. How will you promote your product? Also look at the emerging trends, as you said, social media. You will not just open your shop and say, I'm waiting for customers. You will sensitize us on your social platform, that is Facebook. We have our status on WhatsApp. We can always go to Instagram. We can always, any social media that works, so that customers are able to see the products you have.
Wow. Emily, what are some of the challenges small business owners face?
Small business owners will face challenges like competition, stiff competition from existing entrepreneurs. So it calls for entrepreneurs to clearly know why they're in the market and to look at their strength and focus on their strength. Like the little things that matter, as we mentioned a bit earlier, customer experience. As much as the competition is stiff, work on your customer experience, that you're not giving a customer a reason to go to your competitor. That can also be one way. Number 2, probably the competition is because of the pricing. You also must always work hard to source products at a good supplier who you are able to sell at a favorable price. Of course, now that brings us back to the element of costing, which is a topic on its own, probably we can discuss in future. But where you source your products, get good places where you can source your products, that quality products with favorable prices that will advise your pricing so that you're not having high prices that will cause your customers to run away. Other challenges, like we have mentioned, the small businesses, you're just starting up, there are legal requirements you need to have in place. Sometimes we have faced challenges like the slow processes in getting some of these services in our government, where maybe you would want to go and get a license and you're getting corruption, somebody wants you bribe, you have all you need, but you need to give. In Kenya we say toa kitu kidogo. And the process can be so discouraging. And you can think now, can I just forgo those legal requirements and do what I need to do? So these are serious challenges that a small entrepreneur will face, but I would want to encourage entrepreneurs that we never say die, we can never give up. Keep knocking those offices. As much as you know you have all it takes, step into it, keep doing it, keep going there over and over until you get what it takes. But the process can be slow in getting sometimes what you need.
Wow. My viewers, allow me to close it at this particular point by allowing Emily to give us your parting shot as we close.
I want to encourage our existing entrepreneurs to always keep evaluating their businesses. After a given period of time, look at the performance of your business, go back to the drawing board and see how you can identify your weaknesses, your challenges. After you've identified your challenges, always have action points, and these will help you grow your business from one level to another. We are not saying that all the businesses will work 100%. You'll have challenges, but it all depends on your stamina to come back and keep pushing until you break even. So I look forward to having our entrepreneurs having their businesses flourish. Remember, we have said that entrepreneurship is a lonely journey. At one point, you would need support in terms of mentorship, in terms of training, over and over. So I'm clearly here to just let you know that I am a business mentor and I'm a trainer. I can work with you. What I didn't mention earlier is that I run a company called E.A.T Africa Americas together with a co-founder by the name Caroline Luvaha. We are looking forward to impact nations and basically reach out to potential entrepreneurs, cultivating and training entrepreneurs, making sure they get the right principles that are needed to start businesses, and not just businesses that will fail. We are starting businesses that will flourish, and at the end of it, even offer job opportunities to many, and also doing healthy businesses, greening the environment, and making good profits.
So where can people find you?
So you can always reach me out on the email emcaafricaamericas@gmail.com. On my mobile phone, that is +254 721 628083. And you can always organize for the sessions. These sessions can be online or virtual, or we can also do one-on-one on site. We can visit your business premises, whatever works.
Okay.
Thank you.
Wow. We look forward to seeing you next time. When we invite you, we hope you will, you'll agree to our invitation, right?
Welcome. Thank you.
Yes. We look forward to seeing you one more time. I believe, my viewers, you've learned a lot in today's session. Like our Facebook page and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Let's Talk with Sophia Dhahabu. Catch us next week, same time, for another episode like this.